All right, y'all. Know it's been a little minute. Been a minute since you seen me with an update video. Doing my little trash run. Things be busy. Been busy a little bit. Kids been coming over. Last couple of pretty much every other weekend they've been coming over, which has been good. Because as y'all seen on my YouTube picture post, I do have 4 children. I have an oldest one. She'll be 17 this summer. My youngest one will be 14 in November. So, I like to spend time with them as much as I can. That's the thing when you co-parent. You know what I'm saying? When families split up, like I said, either, depending on how many children you got, either the mother will let you take 2 and she keep raise 2, primarily, or she take all of them and you just, see them when y'all have visitation, when you have visitation rights, or, whenever she sees fit, basically. But I have 2 that stay with me, 2 that stay with their mom. And, it feels good to, have them come over and want to come over and stuff like that. So a lot of times when they do decide to, come over, or, hey, Dad, can I come over? Sure, no problem. Hey, come over, spend time with you, because, talking to them over the phone is one thing, but, that in-person, in-depth conversation is totally different. I feel like you get a much deeper connection when you're around your children, or just around people in general, than being on the phone or FaceTiming. So, it's always good to see how much they done grown and, got their own opinions and personality and stuff. So that's good. Of course, I'm bouncing back. Had one job that, gave me a job offer, but the scheduling just not right for me. I appreciate, I'm grateful. It was going to pay me, more than what I've ever made, but, you having me start off on one shift, that probably would have been better for me. And then once you're done with the training, then I go to a shift that's, not, just not going to fit for me. Working a 2 to 11, that's not going to fit for me. I have children that get out of school, at a certain time. And, of course, y'all know I'm taking care of my mom. So that's not really going to work. Getting off at 11 o'clock and having to be at work at 2 o'clock. So, of course, I've been pushing for an overnight shift type job. At least I, have 2 of my children here to, just in case something happen. And, with my mom, and, she needs somebody. And most of these caregivers, man, they trying to charge more than what I pay in rent. So that's been an uphill battle. Trying to find a caregiver service that's not going to, charge me more than what I pay in rent. So I ain't gonna lie, I'm scratching my skull on that one. So y'all know anybody that a good caregiver service that, that's reasonably priced, that's not trying to charge me a house note or apartment rent price, leave it in the comments, and I'll look them up and see what they're talking about. Got some good news. Found a place up the street that looked like might be my mom's primary doctor place. They willing to pick her up and they willing to drop her back off. And they're making it their mission for her, for them to get her back on her medication. And hopefully with her being back on her medication and, being able to have a place that she don't have to go far to visit, and they quote you one price on the phone, and then once you get up there and they done kept you all damn day, then they want to sit up here and charge you double the damn price that you originally were quoted on the phone. So it looked like her insurance is going to cover that, so that's good. I'm kind of glad about that. And right now I seem pretty confident in this place because, she's been in and out the hospital, and basically what they're doing is giving her medicine while she's in the hospital, but yet you don't prescribe her the medicine medication that you know she's supposed to be on when it's time for her to leave. So that don't really sit well with me. So God forbid she has to go back to the hospital. I really not gonna allow her to go back to that hospital, because they just seem to do a pitch patch job, and knowing that she's gonna have to come right back because you're not prescribing her the medication, nor did her primary doctor that she had at that hospital prescribe her anything, knowing her medical history. How can you know a person's medical history knowing she's supposed to have medicine and don't prescribe it to her so she can, don't have to be in and out the hospital as much? I didn't get that part. So this place up the street seems like they're gonna get on top of that, and probably pull a record and try to start getting her prescribed her medication that she needs to be on, and we can get her health back intact. And we still trying to do the whole cataracts thing, but I need to get her health intact first. Once I get that intact, then that's gonna be the next task. Another thing on my bounce back journey, been working on that hospital job y'all seen me do the video for. Told y'all I was gonna get it. Yeah, they went on ahead and quote me a price, a job offer for what they're gonna pay me. It's still more than what I made when I was at the hospital, so that's good. It's not like it's gonna be like the job that I did accept, where you get paid weekly. I'm pretty sure it's bi-weekly. If the schedule is where I heard in the interview that I was told that I would have Fridays and Saturdays off, so I basically work Sunday through Thursday. And then when it's my weekend to be off, I have a complete weekend off, and you know how that go. But it's an overnight gig, so it's, it shouldn't be as packed, I probably have room to breathe and kind of really do my thing and get accustomed to the hospital where things are, and this, that, and the third. So I'm looking forward to it. I probably won't start until May, around the first week of May. So I know it's a little minute from now, but at the same time, it give me enough time to try to, I won't say it give me some time to get my mom straight, try to get her health in the best condition I possibly can, so I can start working more consistently instead of working these, eventful based jobs, when you only just you schedule your own self basically whenever they have an event. I mean, that's cool, but that's not enough money in the pocket, and so I can do what I need to be doing. So that's two good news I got. Doctor places up the street, hospital I'm gonna be back working in the medical center area, working overnight, which is good with me, because sometimes I have problems shutting my brain off and going to sleep at night. So why not be up making some money, and then by the time I get off, hey, come home, run my errands, take care of my mom, give me some rest, and then get ready for work, unless it's a night that I'm supposed to have off. I'm dealing with a lot too, with me, whenever I get a whole bunch of blessings, there's definitely gonna be some unfortunate negative things happen. So, trying to raise kids, and they getting older and having their personalities, and when you're a parent that, a fun parent, but you also hold them to a certain standard, hold them to accountability, hold them to respect, not just yourself, but others. Sometimes they don't agree with your decisions for them, and partially because they young and they just think things supposed to be their way. And I'm trying to teach them that before they get out on their own, and life chew you up and spit you out, and you realize everything Pop's been teaching you, your mom and your grandma and grandpa been teaching you was right. I had to learn the hard way too. So, it's almost like deja vu. And you don't want to see your children, doing things that could be preventable. But hey, they got to bump their head too. So I know sometimes I'm not always the favorite parent, but hey, when I became a parent, I didn't do it to be liked. I did it because it was something that I wanted to experience in life, and I knew it was going to be times where, sometimes my children and I just don't agree. And that's okay. But when they need me, I'm going to be there. need somebody to talk to, I'll be there. When they need, want to chop it up with me and get some knowledge from me, hey, that we can do that. But I'm not gonna just let you, do what you want to do without some, consequences that come behind that. Respect is everything. Honor thy mother and thy father. That's what they say in the Bible. So therefore, it don't apply to just one parent, and then to me as your parent, it's like, oh, I didn't think that count to you. Now, I want you to respect your mom. I want you to respect me. So, they getting up there, they smell themselves a little bit. All teenagers go through that stage where you start smelling yourself, hormones and everything, and that's fine. So it might be a little distance. It is what it is. If I was wrong, I admit that I'm wrong, and we apologize, sit down and talk about it, because I hold myself accountable too. I don't always get it right. Sometimes I do things, and it don't be right, but I own up to it. And that's what I'm trying to teach them. So that could be easily corrected. Mother texts me or whatever, saying that they want to come back over next weekend, which is fine. I have no problem with that. I love all my children. We just not gonna always see eye to eye. I don't care how much you love or like a person, you're not gonna always see eye to eye. We're totally different people. You share some things in common, but a lot of things you don't. And sometimes, you clash. And I'm an alpha male at the end of the day. So I give respect, and I expect some respect back in return. Because I'm your father at the end of the day. Good, bad, and different. But like I said, today it's been a pretty decent day, nice and breezy. We're not getting no bad weather. I guess the rain was this weekend, even though that wasn't as much as I thought it was going to be anticipated. Still working on myself, man. I can't want my children to change, and then I want to still do, things that's incorrectly myself. So I'm not telling them to do anything that I'm not personally doing myself. I've been through a lot. Like I said, with basically losing my job, working at the stadium from time to time, so it's not consistent money. I'm not used to having all this downtime and free time, so I'm trying to keep myself busy so I don't lose my mind. I know a lot of times, as guys, we feel like we don't have nobody to come to talk to, because we've been taught to be strong. You don't cry, pray about it, get back on your feet, keep your head up high, stay locked and loaded. You stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. But we all go through shit. And I advise anybody who, having to take care of their mom, having the ins and outs with the children, maybe in between jobs, got your own mental challenges that you're dealing with, find somebody who you're comfortable with talking to, that's not going to judge you or throw it back in your face, and let this shit out. Now, I ain't saying I'm the type of person that be crying, because that's just not me. I'm not at that stage yet. 38 years old and I ain't been that way yet. But I ain't ruling it out. So I suggest to all men, man, look, if you got your lady, or you got your uncle, you got a counselor, you can afford to go to a counselor, or you got free counseling service, man, go to it. Find some way to release the frustration and sometimes the overwhelming day-to-day life, day-to-day grind and struggles that you deal with. It's not good to hold that shit in, because trust me, by the time you do let it out, you ain't gonna be able to control it. And sometimes I catch my temper flaring up, and I have to, constantly kind of talk to myself and pray that man up above, like, ooh, that was a close one, God. It be simple stuff. Somebody looking at me, and I think I take it as they challenging me, or, you go through all types of stuff, my old job, of course they sent me the thing in the mail saying that I was, terminated, and then they want to email me and saying that I can't, I'm not eligible So I'm like, that's like, it's like a low blow and then taking a sledgehammer to somebody's head. It's like, okay, the low blow wasn't humiliating and damaging enough. Let me just, take a sledgehammer to your head and just take you completely out. It's like if you let somebody go, whether you have a legitimate reason or not, okay, cool, fine. But you ain't got to sit up here and continue to reach out to a person and tell them, okay, well, you're not eligible for rehire. I've been gone from that place for my month. If you ain't seen me put an application in and come through your system, that means, guess what? I accepted that chapter is closed. Would I agree with why it closed or not? And even if they did tell me I could come back to that situation, why would I? Because if I tell the stuff that guess what, that happened, it'll be a lot of people with that company right now looking for other employment if they ain't already doing it. But hey, I'm gonna let them find out on their own. I'm moving on. I ain't doing nothing to block my blessings. I'm enjoying the weather today. I just felt like getting on here and kind of giving an update, kind of venting a little bit. I've been going through a lot. I've been having my struggle. I've been going through, on and off depression for a very long time. Sometimes it'll be a long time without dealing with it. And then sometimes it comes back, and it comes back full force. But since day one, I've always been a fighter. I've had depression issues. I had, suicidal issues. I've had all types of stuff, that I deal with. Physical pain, mental pain, that I don't really disclose like that because I'm like a lot of people. I don't think that nobody really care. But, it's not, this is therapeutic to me. And I know it's other people that's dealing with it as well. And if I can chuck my pride to the side and admit that I go through some of the same similar issues that you all go through, I just handle it a different way. And I'm finding other ways as I get older to sit up here and deal with it that I probably wouldn't have when I was younger. You can too. So, hey, if y'all going through some of the same, stuff or whatever, and you found a way through it, hey, inbox, or not inbox, Lord have mercy. Hit me up in my comments. Maybe we can, exchange contacts and, keep in touch. And we can sit up here. Hey, I can bounce some ideas of how I've dealt with it and got past it, vice versa. You can tell me how you dealing with it, being able to cope with what you're going through mentally and physically. Y'all should be able to help each other. And that's one of the reasons why I do content, because I want to be able to help other people. I go through insecurities. Don't have no hair. I ain't had no hair in a long time. My skin ain't the greatest. Some people say, oh, you light skinned, you had it easy. Some people don't know. I wish I was dark skinned. Most of my family, on my mom's side is dark skinned. I've always wanted to be dark skinned. I didn't choose to be light skinned. My daddy's light skinned. And nothing against that man. It's my dad, my pops. We don't always see eye to eye, but he's my pops. So I can go through a whole lot of lists of things that I go through that I haven't disclosed, that a lot of people don't know. But it's about being strong, bouncing back. Even with all the stuff that I have going on with family, my mother, my relationship with my brother, is not as close as I would like it to be. Me and my sister's relationship is non-existent. Going through as your kids get older, the nature of the relationship change. So it's kind of up and down. My own struggles, like I said, I go through a lot, and sometimes I just feel like shutting all devices down and just not dealing with nobody. Just pack up my shit and just go. Sometimes I get to that point. But then I have to think about it. If I do that, that's giving up. That's giving up, running away from responsibility, not stepping up to challenges. And one thing about me, I'm not going to run away from challenges. So I'm going to continue to tackle it head on. I want y'all to do the same. Tackle whatever demons that you're dealing with, whatever, struggles that you have. And, let's help each other get through it, y'all. Because like I said, as y'all gonna see in the caption, in the description, it's about bouncing back. You don't lose the battle until you give up. When you give up, that's when you lose the battle. But as long as you got breath in your lungs, you're able to see, you're mobile, maybe if you got a support system, you believe in the higher power, whoever is your person that you believe in, hey, it's not over. It's not over. We all can overcome whatever we're going through, as long as we're willing to put in the work. If you're willing to put in the work, it might take a little time, but you can get through it and come on the other side stronger than ever. So I'm about to head back to my place. I just decided to make a little, I won't say it's a short video, but I just wanted to make a video and let y'all know that, hey, your boy's still around. Your boy's still gonna make content. Just sometimes life be lifing, and you gotta take care of some things. So as you can see, I'm in a good mood. I don't smile as much, but when I do, hey, the ladies love it. So let's enjoy life, y'all. Every time you get a blessing, the devil don't take no days off. He don't use no PTO time. No vacation time with him. If he see you going through a stint of time where you getting straight nothing but blessings, he gonna find some way to creep in and ruin that for you. Whether it's working through family, friends, employment, he gonna do whatever he can. But if you know the Lord like I know, the Lord don't sleep either. The Lord takes the same time to work, same schedule to work, just like he does. There's no PTO time, no vacation time, no FMLA, none of that. Just as hard as he fight to ruin things, God fight even harder to get you through it. You just gotta believe. And that's what I'm doing. I'm believing. I've been down this road before, and I've came out on the other side. And I know with all I have going on, even the stuff that I haven't disclosed, that it's gonna get better. And it's gonna get better for y'all too. So like, comment, subscribe, share my content, whether it's this content, my other content on my page. Thank you to the 27 subscribers. Hey, let's get it up to 50. Like I said before, once we get it up to 50, if we get it up to 50, okay, fine. We'll do it. Whenever we give it up to 50, I'll make a post and have y'all to, drop your comments in there for the ones that's actually subscribe to me. And then I, get that lucky person a $50 Cash App sent off. When I get to 100, hey, we're gonna do $100. Now I ain't saying once we get to 1,000, I'm gonna give you $1,000. I ain't balling like that. I'm still crawling. But $50 for 50 for once I get to 50 subscribers, $100 for 100 subscribers. We'll do stuff like that. I do what I can. Thank y'all for checking out the video. Like I said, hit that like button, comment, subscribe. Hey, share the video for your boy. If you really, rock with me, like some of y'all say y'all do, okay, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe, drop a comment, share the video. Y'all share the video. Hey, I get more notarized, get my subscribers up. I'm trying to make this an income too. And guess what? When I make this an income, I ain't gotta respond. I ain't gotta sit up here every day 1 to 5 p.m. I put it out there. Y'all support it. I do something to support y'all. Hey, if y'all got y'all own YouTube page, let your boy know. I already got a couple of people I be checking out their page and stuff. So I gotta, get back on that. And like they stuff. I'm already subscribed to it. So y'all support me, I support y'all. But it's time for me to go ahead, get on in the house, edit the video, which ain't gonna take that long with this one. Touch on some more content, because I'm gonna be pumping out multiple videos for this week. And hey, it's time to, hey, I'm gonna be working at the hospital in a month. I'm doing my thing with this content. Like I said, if y'all got some topics y'all want me to touch, let me know in the comments. I'm out.